So, my main man, Dougie Fresh. These are the three pictures that you sent me. Um, let's start with number one. I saw in the group chat you had mentioned something about the right shutter speed and like far as it being blurry. This one got a little bit of blurriness to it, but the shutter speed is not so bad that everything is blurry. Like the only the things that's moving is blurry. Like her feet is blurry, and that feet are blurry, and that can be good for if you want to show some motion blur. If you want to show that somebody is walking, if you want to show that like the car was driving by, if you want to show somebody was riding a bike, you want to show some motion blur, that's good. So you got that going here. Um, you did shoot in JPEG, so it don't tell me what shutter speed you use. It just tell me the size of the file. So we gotta shoot in RAW, cause that'll tell me a lot more about the picture. Um, okay, what would I do? I would brighten it a little bit. I would definitely bring it up a bit. This is what you call a histogram. Histogram can be kind of a long explanation. Okay, what the histogram is, if um, so you see how when I make it darker, this is moving. So this is dark. The left side is dark, and the right side is bright. Um, if it's too bright, then it'll start to clip. Like if the whites, if it's too bright, and I got this thing. Okay. If we click this, it'll show me. You see where this red spot is? It's telling me that that is too bright. Like, well, it's telling me that it's pure white. So, a histogram. Sometimes, if you're not sure if it's too bright or not, it's good to have it just like right in the middle. But then the thing about that, having it right in the middle, so technically this is exposed right according to what the camera wants. But she's wearing a white dress, and this white dress kinda will throw the camera off. Um, it's a whole long, elaborate explanation. And I don't want this video to be too long. We'll talk about histogram another time. What would I do to this picture? I would brighten it up a little bit. Screw the histogram for now. Maybe I'll bring these highlights down. If you bring the highlights down, so if you see, all right, so the dress is white. If the highlights is way up, the like you won't be able to see the details in the dress. But if you bring the highlights down, it kind of so it look right like right here. This part, I guess it's like a belt. I don't know what they call it. But this part and then the rest of the dress, it almost look like if it's too bright, it almost look like they blended in. Like you can't really tell that there's a separation there unless you bring the highlights down. And once again, you know, we shot in JPEG, so it's only but so much that you can do with this. This would look a lot more prevalent. Is that the word I want? Where so you can tell, you can see what I'm saying. As far as highlights and bringing back the details in the highlights. If this was shot in RAW, it would show more. It's a little bit grainy, like right here. So you see right here, it's a little bit grainy. If we take our noise reduction, I'll take my contrast all the way up, details all the way up, and luminance kind of like what's that, 70, 75%. So that's off. Look at the noise. Look at the pixelization, if you will. So that's on. That's noise reduction on, off, on, off, off. That is on. And you see how it kind of smooth out a little bit. So I do that for most of my portraits. If this was just a picture of landscapes, if it was just a picture of like the building in the background, then I probably wouldn't change the noise reduction. But a person, I want them to look smooth. I want them to look super hard. Yeah, I would just brighten this up and maybe take my clarity up a little bit. And I normally don't center. I feel like I want to crop this some kind of way. So if this is the crop tool, you go up here and hit that little square. It'll bring up the crop tool. If you leave it at the original, when you try to crop it, it'll leave it. It'll be like the original um, aspect ratio. But if you take this off, and now it's like, see that lock? So it's going to stay. It's going to stay the same. But if you take the lock off, it's not going to stay the same. It only move what you move. If you press the letter L, like Leslie or Lucy, press the L on your keyboard, it'll make it dim, and press it again, it'll make it black. So you can only see what you're doing, and not none of the other buttons in the way. Um, but yeah, I usually don't shoot straight up here, but I do like these windows in the back. I want to keep them in. So yeah, we can leave it the same. So I'm gonna just reset that, bring it back to regular. And if you wanted to, if you wanted to like, so let's say you want to do something different to this picture. Hold Control and press the apostrophe button. So you know, like when you spell can't, CAN apostrophe T, you hit that little apostrophe button. So you hold Control, press apostrophe, and it will create a virtual copy. So I still got the first picture, and now I got a copy of the picture. And if I wanted to crop it, if I wanted to do something to it, I can do something to the copy and not mess up the original. You know, I still got the original. So there's an option for that too. If you want to do that, let's say I wanted to make this into instead of it being a vertical picture like a landscape, I mean like a portrait style. Let's say I wanted to be horizontal like landscape style, then I could crop it like that or whatever. Um, but yeah, so yeah, pretty much all I would do was just brighten this picture up. That's all I really would have did. Brightened it and took the clarity up a little bit. Next picture. Cause this video is already 7 minutes long. I don't want it to be that long. I would straighten it, um, and it don't like it needed that much straightening. So you hit level over here and straighten. Now cut her foot off. Cut the dress off a little bit. I don't like to cut things off. I don't like to cut people off. So maybe I won't straighten it, but I would brighten it a little bit, and then I would hit the clarity. Now look up here in the clouds. Once I brighten it, this cloud right here, like you lose the definition of what the cloud looked like. So once you take it up, but then if you bring the highlights down, it'll bring some of that definition back. And if this was shot in raw, it would bring that definition back a lot. You would really be able to tell. Um, Shadows a little bit, just for this part of her face, and of course, I remember I told you about the preset that I made. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you that right now. So let's go to the next picture. This is a 9-minute video already. So this picture, and I saw that you edited this, that you edited this and put it up, and I like the edits. So look, noise reduction is regular, clarity and vibrance, all of that is regular. But if I come over here to my user preset and I hit auto portrait, and it'll give you a preview of what it's gonna look like. So this is one of the presets. Boom. So now look, the noise reduction has gone up automatically, and the clarity and vibrance has gone up automatically. Because I always do noise reduction on most of my portraits, and I always add a little bit of color, a little bit of vibrance, a little bit of clarity. So instead of me every time I go to a picture and moving these sliders like moving these sliders one by one, I can just come over here and click my presets, and it'll do it automatically. And even when I import it, I can have that preset come on while it's importing automatically, so I don't have to think about it and come back to it later. Okay. This side, so we had the light coming on this side. If you come up here to this filter, which is just the letter M, if you press the letter M, it will bring up a graduated filter. So you can now look, if I press O, it's going to show me that what I'm about to do to these sliders over here is only going to affect what's red. It's not going to affect what's white. So and then so O is for overlay. If I press O again, it takes it away. So it was a little bit darker on the side, so I would just maybe bring it up a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Then you press enter, and that's it. She looks kind of red. You could do auto. That's kind of cool. So look, if you take it back to as it was shot, it got this reddish thing to it. But if you hit auto white balance, it looks a little warm. It looks a little more orange. Or you could go up here and customize that white balance. You can make it look a little more cool. And that day was kind of cool, especially it was an overcast day. Yeah, maybe like right there. But I did like the tones. But let's keep it kind of cool like what it is, cause she's wearing white. The stones is white. It was an overcast day. It was a cool looking day, and the whole vibe. Yeah, let's keep it cool. And she got the splash of color here. I like that. What would I do? Maybe take the shadows a little bit, and the black still, to bring it a little more definition and its clarity. Yeah. Contrast. Yeah. And I usually don't take my clarity up as high, but hey, rules are made to be broken. Sorry if I got too low. I need to get a battery for my microphone. I don't like how, like I said, we need to shoot in raw. But this is still good though. This is still decent. Out of all of the shots, I like this one the most. Yeah, I like this one the most. This is a 12-minute video. All right, Doug. Oh no. Let's come over to the colors, cause I still don't like how it's too much color here. Like she looked cartoonish right now. Maybe because the vibrance is up too high. But if you come down here to the color panel and hit saturation, you can target what color you want to desaturate. So if you click this little button and then hover over the thing, hover over the part that you want to desaturate, click it, hold it, drag it down, and it will. So look, it's like black and white, and then it's like super colorful. So I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, cause she looked cartoony, and I don't want her to look cartoony. It was too orange. It was too brown. It was too colorful. I think that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, and so boom, here we go. Before, after, before, after. Maybe I would bring that up. Or you could take the luminance and make this color darker. So you make our brown skin darker, or you can make our brown skin lighter. Which I kind of like that. Let's do that. Maybe we'll add a little bit more color to it. Don't take too much out. All right. Yeah, it was very subtle, but that's about it. Before and after. Catch you in the next photo critique.